Hello, welcome to another episode of Chemistry is Easy with Mr. Jesse. For this tutorial, our objective is to name alkynes. In naming alkynes, the same rule as naming of alkenes apply, except that instead of E and E, the names of the compounds will end with a Y and E. For example, we have ethyne, propyne, cyclopentine, 1,3-hexadiene. Name this alkyne. Now this alkyne or condensed form of the alkyne can be written in an extended manner. So we have a carbon, triple bond, another carbon, a single bond, carbon, a single bond, another carbon. So we have CH here. That means the first carbon is connected with one hydrogen. The second carbon is not connected to any hydrogen because it is already surrounded with four bonds. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds surrounding the carbon. For the third hydrogen, it is surrounded with two hydrogens, so we will have CH2. Always remember that each carbon atom should be surrounded by four bonds. So looking at this carbon now, it is surrounded with three hydrogen, and it is always consistent with the fact that each carbon atom should be surrounded by four bonds. Now recall that in naming alkenes, we have to start counting the carbons to where the triple bond or the double bond is connected. So in this case, the triple bond is closest to this carbon over here. So we call this carbon 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this alkyne is composed of four carbons. So in fact, this alkyne is called a butene. Let me write that down. That's butene. Alright, and now we have to specify the location of the triple bond. Since the triple bond is connected between carbons 1 and 2, therefore the official name of this structure over here is 1-butene. Again, the naming is very similar to how we name alkenes. So again, this structure or the name of this alkyne rather is 1-butene. Name this cycloalkyne and write its molecular formula. So recall that in naming cycloalkenes, the carbon that contains the double bond should be closest to the substituent. In this case, our substituent here is the methyl, and the carbon that contains the double or the triple bond should be assigned with carbon 1 and 2. So if we assign this as our carbon 1, this should be carbon 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. However, if we assign this as our carbon 1, this is carbon 2, carbon 2, the substituent is connected to carbon 3, 4, 5, and 6, which tells us that this way is the proper way of assigning the carbons. Alright, then since we have a cycloalkane that is composed of 6 carbons, then we should have a cyclohexane, and on carbon 3 we have a methyl, so we call that 3-methyl cyclohexane. That is our name for this cycloalkyne rather. Now write its molecular formula. To identify the molecular formula, we have to note, or we have to take note, the number of carbons that we have in this case or in this structure. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we have the 7 carbon. So we will have C7. Now we need to identify the number of hydrogen. So for this carbon here, it no longer contains a hydrogen. So for this carbon over here, it doesn't contain a hydrogen because it's already surrounded with 4 bonds. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Also, this carbon over here, it also doesn't have any hydrogen anymore because it is already surrounded with 4 bonds. However, for this carbon here, it should contain 2, or it should bear 2 hydrogen because this carbon here is only surrounded with 2 bonds. This is 1, 2, so it could bear 2 hydrogen. Also, this carbon here will also bear, or would also be connected to 2 hydrogen. This would also have 2 hydrogens. And for this carbon, it could still contain or be connected to 1 hydrogen, since this just connected to 1 to 3 branches or bonds initially. And obviously this carbon number 7, is connected to 3 hydrogens. So let's count that. We have 3 over here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is in fact C7H10. And that concludes our tutorial on naming alkynes. Once again, chemistry is easy with Mr. Jesse.